Herbivore. Herbivore.
Good morning. How are we doing, everyone? Thank you for joining me again. Who's in the hizzy? Richard Benham. Squad, you are first. You are the best internet man. Alexandri in the house. I know that name. How are you doing, my friend? Lovely. Ang Harad is here. Sergeant Ang Harad with her mam and fudge. Ran long. Yo, Hench, straighten out VP. Number one, where's your manners? Number two, I don't respond well to orders barked at me. And number three, who's VP? Vegetable police? Can't be asked. Can't be asked to deal with him. I've not looked at him for years. It's quite simple what he needs to do. Goji Man offered to run gut tests to actually sort out, like, ascertain, diagnose what actually is his problem, and then he would have easily fixed it. Years ago, you know, that lad just doesn't want help, so I'm not going to force it on him. And yeah, you straighten him out. If it's that important to you. Angry vegan! Ahoy! How are you doing? Rufus, awful movie review. I bet you're going to say the movies are all awful. Hence your channel is awesome. Well, thank you very much. At least you gave me a good review. Where in the world are you, Rufus? How's the vegan scene there? And why do you enjoy awful movies? Is it sort of in an ironic kind of a way? I feel like I used to enjoy on a Sunday lunchtime, or was it Sunday morning? Basically, when I used to get back from karate and I was worn out, My mum's got the old roast on, and I will watch, what was it called, Lost in Space? They made a film of it in more recent years. An old black and white movie. Dr. Zachary Smith or whatever, and this robot danger, Will Robinson. And it was so horrible that it was actually really funny. So I do get it. Zell Nugget in the hizzy. Yeah, I like the early build-up. Nikki, Northern British Gaming, good to see you. General Nikki, by the looks. I don't know what you're saying, Zell. And also, I don't have access to the tune anymore. Samuel Hench, who made your drum and bass theme? I was just vibing to it. Thank you. That was one of my PT clients. That was his son, Tom Ferguson. I believe he has produced some pretty fantastic pieces of music. I don't know where or who for or what for. Apparently, he is well good. Anna Marquez, good morning. Morning to you. Where in the world are you, Anna? How's the vegan scene? How are you? And what's going on? And who's excited for Camp Out? Apart from Angharad, I know she's super excited. I don't need to ask her. Is it less than 4 weeks now? I can't believe how quickly it's come round. Excuse me, I do have to just finish my 2-litre smoothie as well. It's a bit on the thick side. Me! I kind of guessed that. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. It'll be great to meet you guys. So what are we all saying? What's everyone up to today? What have you been doing? How's things? Have you got any hobbies or problems? Let me know. I don't think I've got much to tell you about, really. I've started to play Minecraft again after like many years. So that's a bit of 26 days. It's a bit of a learning curve. I'd sort of forgotten it all. I just about managed to get a shelter up. I was lucky I didn't get killed by some monsters because it was getting dark already. Why am I finding it so difficult to find iron ore? Angharad, I'm looking at you. I believe you play Minecraft. Why am I finding it difficult to find iron ore? Shaggy! Hi, Sir Hench. What's up with the thick sideburns? I'm trying to look like my hero, Wolverine. I mean, Patrick Baboumian. Zell Naga, writing, drawing, music, mostly chilling, YouTube, good vegan food, 3 days a week, so 4 days off in a row is nice. Lovely. Oh, that's good. Unknown Error is off to Thorpe Park today in this weather. How is the weather where you are? I think we're a little bit overcast today. We had been having really good weather. Oh, it's all rainy today. I've got to do my hill sprints. It reckons it's going to be like thunderstorms. Oh, God. That's going to be refreshing. It's rain. Rain, rain, and rain. This is a bad summer. Can't wait to get somewhere more summery, more of the year. Unknown Error. No, I've said that already. Angry Vegan. I've been working on my chess game. I love chess. Yeah, I kind of introduced Gemma to chess. Christmas time, we decided to get a board, and then I showed. Not that I was any kind of an expert. I just basically knew how the pieces moved, really, like the basic rules. And we got that chess.com app. And basically, I was like, wiping the floor with her initially, and then she started using that chess app and really teaching herself. And now I find it hard to like beat her. Like she just wipes the floor with me, and I don't know. I just find that games take so bloody long. Just eats in so much of the day, and we like to be very busy, and yeah. I just wish chess was a bit faster paced somehow. But then when you're going too quick, you make stupid errors, don't you? So it is a really good game, though. It's so technical, isn't it? So much depth to it. It is really good. So, or at different depth level, Montreal raining. I hear it's like just above sea level to like all the way down towards bedrock, which is like, is it 64, minus 64 or whatever? I did so much mining, but I only came across like one sort of vein of it. I feel like something's wrong with my game or something. Is it just relatively rare? Does it just take ages to come across it? Okay. So Hangout is saying, don't worry, you find it hard sometimes too. Depends on the cave you're in. Now, I have been just doing my own mining and not really venturing much into caves, thinking that I've not got much protection or good weapons. So maybe I don't want to see too many like monsters. So I guess what you're saying is if you're in a cave, you're going to see like the iron ore in the walls. Is that the deal? Is that where I'm going wrong? I actually need to go into caves now. I have got a metal sword now. So, yeah. Oh, Anna, London. Nice. I'm going to be moving to London at some point, possibly Greenwich. We've got a new business opportunity, which will mostly take place in the capital. We will be doing a bit of globetrotting as well, so that's going to be well exciting. Whereabouts in London are you? And yeah, it's a pretty good vegan scene in London, particularly in the centre. Sal, me under the rain, everyone depressed at bus stop. I'm vegan, by the way, win. Oh, so you've been vegan 3 months. Nice. So how are you enjoying it? How did you find it? Have you had benefits? Are you eating quite whole foodsy, or are you is it more just ethics and you're eating them dirty old vegan burgers? How's it all going for you? How's it all going? Any difficulties that I can help out with? Shaggy in Singapore, the fishery recently has been linked to COVID cases. Oh, so they're all getting COVID. Maybe it's karma. If you look at that, did you see that study that did you see that study that came out about nutrition and COVID severity? And it showed like no real difference. Whatever you eat, it's like supposedly there seems to be not much difference to the ability to get COVID. Although I've got to think if your vitamin D is like good, you've got to be more protected because that's important. But yeah, so vegans, I mean, they were lumped in with vegetarians, which must have diluted the results. I think we can infer we should have done even better where we're not lumped in with those cheese guzzlers. But we had 73% less likelihood of moderate to severe, hospitalization symptoms. So mostly, like we either wouldn't, vegans wouldn't know they had it. Or, this is whole foods vegans, by the way, not junk foods vegans. You either wouldn't know you had it, or it'd just be quite mild, like you just feel a bit rough or whatever. Maybe you just take it easy for a couple of days, and then keto eaters had 3 times the odds of winding up in hospital or at least having moderate symptoms, you know, and possibly like dying. 3 times the odds versus an omnivorous eater. So keto diet, not healthy, not healthy. It looks good on paper because people who want to lose weight, they suddenly lose a ton of weight at the beginning. What they don't realise is the majority of that weight they've lost is their carbohydrate stores and the associated water weight, which all stores in the muscle to make your muscles look big and volumized and make them function better, make them mechanically stronger. So basically, they just suddenly look like less muscular. But people just fixate on the weight on scales and forget, like, what are you weighing? Like, very silly. And raises your odds of dying from COVID. Nikki, still sunny but much cooler, had a heat wave for this week. Nice. Zell, oh, lol, consider mind test is free. Yeah, I did have a look at it. But I don't know, it didn't seem quite as sexy. And then Minecraft, I think it cost me like £17, which was ridiculously cheap. So I wish there was more complex chess. There is 4D. Look up 4D chess, and that Star Trek version of chess has actually got rules as well. That was pretty complicated. So mind test has no bedrock. I'm making a castle underground at minus 1200. Bloody hell, that must have taken forever to get down there. Anchorad. Sometimes if you dig up ground of stone, it will pop out of nowhere, and it also depends what level you have set it to. Maybe I think I'm just on normal. Shaggy, chess isn't vegan. You have to use the horse pieces. Oh dear, terrible. Angry vegan. If time is an issue, I suggest setting a chess time clock. Yeah, set it for 5 minutes. 5-minute games. Oh, I see. So if you don't mate in that time, checkmate. If you don't complete the game, is it then based on like the value of the pieces that are left over? Is that the dilly? Jared Warnest in the hizzy, good to see you. The trouble is, if you go quick though, you like mess up, and then it's frustrating from that perspective. So poor old chess, it can't win really. Who's watched, what is that film all around chess that came out fairly recently? Queen's Gambit. How many of you have seen Queen's Gambit, and did it reignite your wanting to play chess? Because it did me. That was a really good film. Anna, I wish I'd turned sooner, get my children aware of vegan diet. Nice, good for you. Sean O'Donnell, what? Hench plays Minecraft. Please make a gaming video. I would have to get substantially better before I'd want to show people my terrible ability at Minecraft, I think. Maybe I'd do a vegan run or something. That's very silly, Zell. I like it. Yeah, I'll probably stick with Minecraft now that I've bought it, but thank you kindly. Also, I think the fun of these games is like having nothing and have to slowly progress. I think if you suddenly have all this stuff, that's kind of spoiled the excitement in a way, if that makes sense. It was like, I always loved survival mode, but you always wished you had all these things, you could make all this innate stuff. Then you go on to creator mode, and you've got like an unlimited Lego box of all the things, and that's fun for 5 minutes. And then I found myself longing for that adventure and not knowing exactly how it all works and having to really scrap together for the bits and just scraping through the excitement of not knowing if you could have quite survived or whatever. It's yeah. Yeah. No, I won't say about it. I've got this theory to do with spiritualism and Minecraft and life, and I don't think you probably want to hear it, so I won't bother saying it all. I have said it before elsewhere. Right. Anna, thank you. More whole foods, plant-based. Nice. So are you feeling some like benefits then? Are you feeling well? Have you managed to, did you have any sort of health conditions or pains or anything like that you reversed? I certainly did, and I found it, the longer I stayed whole foods plant-based, the more benefits I got. It's been quite amazing. Demi, hey Hench, what types of pasta are considered to be healthy, gluten-free, wholemeal, etc.? You really want whole grain products, always whole grain. Most people don't need things to be gluten-free. If you do have a gluten intolerance or celiac disease, then of course, you won't want a wheat pasta. You want like brown rice or, some other type of pasta. But yeah, it needs to be whole grain is really the thing. White pasta is delicious. D in the hizzy. I'd like to see a fruit and veg tier list sometimes. What does that mean? Like a sort of hierarchy of what I consider the most healthy? Is that what you're axing? Jared Warners, have you heard of David Sinclair? I sure have. Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to. I read his book. What's his blinking book? To do with aging. Anyway, even though he's not vegan, he promotes largely whole foods, plant-based diet, also fasting and HIIT. Yep. What was his book called? I'm going to have to take a look now. I think it's like One Single World. I'm going to kick myself. Lifespan, of course, it's going to be Lifespan. Yeah, very good book. Timmy, is it safe to use an asthma inhaler without having asthma? I don't know is the answer to that. I work in a bakery and my nose gets stuffed by flour dust. Just want to use one before exercise. I've got no idea, I'm afraid. Not my speciality. Oh, whoever runs out of time first loses. I see. That makes sense. Anchorad, I wouldn't be able to find anything if it wasn't for my mum telling me where to go and what to do. Bless you. You are a great team. Stacey Langley, morning to you, lovely. How are you? Shaggy, no belling so far. Yep, that's pretty good. Oh, Queen's Gambit. Yeah, of course it's a mini-series. Why did I think it was a film? It was over so quick. I think that was the trouble. Yeah, I prefer from the start to... Yeah. Jam it. Afternoon. All to wind down, I play Dota 2. Always Enchantress. Just against bots. Boring, I know. I've got no clue what the hell you're on about. It sounds exciting from my perspective. But I wouldn't know. Safe Poppy, I'm a huge fan, Paul. Thank you. And thanks for joining. I swing 16 kilo kettlebell most days, switching between left and right hands. Today for 40 minutes. Stopping doesn't matter. I can't even do one pull up though. Depends what you're trying to get out of your training, doesn't it? If you want to get good at pull ups, it matters. If you don't really give a damn, don't worry about it. If that makes sense. I mean, so kettlebell swing, so that's that's like hip, so that's kind of a deadlift movement pattern. So you're training your hip extension basically. But if you want to be like all round healthy, yeah, we should do some upper back training. We should do some chest pressing and some shoulder pressing. Some squat movement patterns. ideally to have a good looking physique and a good functioning physique without imbalances that can lead to injuries, we should train all sort of or a good balance of like movement patterns and muscles. Super chat. Morpheus, you Kylo Ren loving friend. Thank you for the super chat. $5 US. That's very kind. I don't like to bring up his name too often, but do you think sounds like he's dying to you? Yes. He sounds like a monotone dying person. Thanks for the super chat. You're very kind. Peter Cunnington, good to see you. Do you think Strosh is the worst person? I don't like to speak ill of people more than I have to, but yes. I just wonder what horrible stuff must have happened to him, in all honesty. So, I do have some compassion there, despite the horrible videos I've made about him. Do you know what I mean? I don't make these videos to be nasty and to cause him ill feeling. I make them to be kind to animals and so that other people don't follow his idiotic example. But sadly, some people are stupid enough to. But yeah, I hate to say it, but I believe you could be correct, Peter Cunnington. Hello, Michael Jackson, you lovely person. Samuel Taylor, I don't know whether you've talked about it, but have you tried meditation? Yeah, I try it most days for an hour and 11 minutes, and I'm having amazing success. I'm using some of Joe Dispenza's stuff currently. I've done all kinds over the years. Massive benefits, public speaking, things like that, which I never thought I'd be doing. And lately I've been doing Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself meditation, which takes an hour and 11 minutes once you build up to the fourth week, which you then repeat. I like his Generous Present Moment meditation as well. Yeah, starting having some interesting kind of mystical experience. Yes, everyone should meditate, everyone. And if you think you're not really good at meditation, get yourself the Headspace app and get using that. And the initial lessons are free and you don't need to get the paid version. You can just keep doing the free ones. Yeah, how about you, Samuel? Are you a fan? So I've answered that. Peter Cunnington, is sourdough bread healthy? I guess if it's whole grain and not got nasty additives, it could be very healthy. D, yes, but in tier list form. What does this mean? Like I'm starting at the least, what I think are the least nutritious and moving up, or is there a specific format? Explain yourself. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I know the exact meaning of that. Zell, I run with shopping food in backpack. I hope it doesn't get too crushed up by the time you want to eat it. I suppose it'll save you having to chew. Take old bitties. If I beef a taco, what the hell that means, will I absorb the protein faster and get jacked or nah? I don't know what the hell you're on about, but I'm going to say nah. Just a gut feeling. Thanks for joining. Peter, my friend is doing the keto diet and she lost weight, but I still think it's very unhealthy. Yeah, she's lost muscle mass, she's lost glycogen, she's lost like water. Yeah, it's just silly. And like the longest lived people on record ate the vast majority of their calories as carbohydrate. Keto is the opposite. So if you definitely don't want to live the longest, happiest, healthiest life, keto. People focus on weight, but like weight of what? People are so silly. Like you're not weighing just like fat. You're weighing bone, muscle, like fluids, like your organs. You need to be more clever than that. Weighing yourself is a tool so that you can titrate your calories and not lose weight too quickly. Really, that's the benefit of it. But it's not the end goal in and of itself. The end goal is to look better, to have good muscle tone, to be leaner. Demi, is going to bed late unhealthy if I still get 8 hours? Yes. Yep, to optimize your health, you should be in line with the circadian rhythm of the planet. I can't remember why it's unhealthy, but it definitely is. You might like to listen to some podcasts. Huberman Labs podcast. Huberman Labs, sorry. The first, I think there was like an intro episode, and then about the first 4 or 5 episodes we're on the science of sleep, and that will all answer that in there for you. But yeah, it certainly won't be optimal. It certainly won't be optimal. Let's put it that way. Keep calm. Love the thumbnail. Thank you very much. I felt a bit skinny that day, so I'd been dieting down. And the photo shoot was to be the next day, but I hadn't carb loaded yet, so I was looking very kind of thin. So I wish I would have carved up by that photo. But I like how lean I look in it. Interesting story. I did the photo shoot, went to bed, woke up in the morning, just scrolling through my Instagram feed as you do. I saw that photo. I didn't know it was me. I actually thought it was a black guy because of how the lighting is. I thought, oh, that black dude is super ripped. I was like a bit jealous. And then I saw my photographer friend's avatar, his logo. And I thought, that's me. And immediately I realised it was me. I started picking faults in it. And I didn't like it half as much as I did when I didn't know it was me. And it's very interesting how our brains work. And we are always like, kind of down on ourselves. It's very interesting. James Hodel Murphy, hello to you. Good morning. It's just a super chat. Angharad, the one place I don't like is the Nether Realm, is it called? Or is it just called the Nether? Yes, scary. Zell Naga, what do you think of Banana Girl? Well, I'm an acrotomophiliac, so yes. God knows what that is. Super chat. Morpheus, you lovely soul, $5 US on the super chat. On the topic of meditation, I found that the Hare Krishna chant does wonders for awakening the mind to a higher consciousness. Did you know I went to a Hare Krishna wedding on Monday? It was so good. Me and Gemma both said, like, if we're going to get married, like, sooner or later. And, we're considering, like, what type of ceremony do we want? And we decided if we're going to have, like, a religious one, likely we would pick a Hare Krishna wedding. And I spoke to the priest, and he says, yeah, I can do that. Like, you don't have to be of a particular faith to do it, which is weird because, like, for a Christian wedding, you have to attend church 3 weeks to get the read the banns where the priest says, "Oh, anyone know like why these people shouldn't be married?" or some stuff like that. I think that's how it goes. So it's actually a lot easier for us to have a Hare Krishna wedding than a Christian wedding, which is bonkers, isn't it? Yeah, I can believe it, Morpheus. I have a lot of love for that faith. Like they're such lovely people. Like, they really are kind, loving souls. Like, yeah, we love to be around them. And thank you for the generous super chats. You're really kind. Super chats. Anna, more energy, taking a vegan multivitamin and mineral supplement. So yeah, you're getting some good benefits already. That's very cool. That is very cool. Safe Poppy. Thanks, Paul, and keep roasting Joe Rogan. I will do. Thank you, lovely. Bless you. Yeah, he needs roasting, doesn't he? James, what's your 3 best ab workouts? Exercises, do you mean? Do you incorporate this into your workouts, or do you actually hit workouts and focus purely on the core? I hardly do anything for my core. These days, I do 3 sets of ab wheel rollouts twice a week. That's it. I think you need to spend about a couple of years hitting the core really hard in whichever way you want, and there's all different ways. And any way can work. It's just all about like total like balance throughout your week. And really, after that couple of years, I think you've built what you need to build. You don't need to keep getting them bigger. So it's just keeping relatively lean so that you can see them, in all honesty. If I had to pick 3 exercises, I would pick one for the transverse abdominis, which runs east to west across the hips, underneath the rectus abdominis, like the abs muscles that people think of when you say abs. They run north to south. And so it's one big sheet of muscles. The reason it looks like individual, like 6 or 8 muscles, you know, if you're lean, the reason it looks like there's several muscles is that tendons are like pulling it down. So it looks like you have these like grooves in there, but it's actually one sheet of muscle. But of course, if you've got a bit of fat, it's going to fill those grooves up. So you're not going to see that you've got abs. Everyone's got abs. It's just whether you're lean enough for them to be visible or not. So that's just, you know, managing your calories, really. It's nothing much to do with, well, it is exercise in terms of calories in, calories out, but it's not that you need to particularly like train them that hard. Not after a couple of years anyway, if you're training properly. So if I had to pick 3 exercises, one for the TVA, so that would be something like an ab wheel rollout or a plank. Then I'd go lower abs, because lower abs tend to be weaker than upper abs. So something like captain's chair or hanging knee raises or leg raises if you're strong enough, or toe to bar if you're strong enough for that. You know, there's the kind of progressions. And then one where you're bringing your shoulders like towards your hips. So like a weighted incline crunch, a cable crunch, machine crunch. Yeah, something like that. I'll do them in that order as well, specifically. Not quite sure what Shaggy's on about, but I like your style. Timmy, my stepmom is a massive meat eater, and she was strategically... Did I just say gigantically? B12 deficient. The doctors did some other tests before the nutrient blood test. Silly doctors. Yep. And something like 2/5 of probably Westerners in general. Certainly Americans that have insufficient or deficiency or insufficient levels. Iron, I downloaded your ebook. It's amazing, mate. Great information. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate your kind support, my friend. Where in the world are you, Iron? Have we chatted together? I know I've chatted to an Iron. I don't recognise the surname, but perhaps I wouldn't do. Have you? I think you have been in here recently, haven't you? Am I getting confused now? Have we chatted before? If not, I want to know all about you. And again, thank you very much. Samuel, nice. I used to use meditation for ADHD and anxieties. Yeah, brilliant. I'm reading that a lot of people find it useful for their perception of consciousness. Yeah, it's amazing. Good. I'm glad you're having some great benefits. James, people need to go through throw scales in the bin. They don't show the true size. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I think they are useful, but they're a tool to get to where you want to go, because you know it'd be very easy to like overdo a weight loss or to think that you're doing all right, but just maybe you're on maintenance and then you're not really losing anything. So I think they're useful, but people need to not get hung up on them, and they need to know how to use them properly. You basically weigh yourself in the morning, after the loo, before you eat or drink anything. You only weigh yourself at that time, and I say just once a week, or it messes with your mind, and you're going to have fluctuations throughout the week that have nothing to do with anything you're doing. It's just natural. But over the course of a week, you're going to see like an average, and you know, if you've lost 1% of your total body weight, great, keep doing that. And then once that slows down, maybe you need to cut a few more calories back. Yeah, or if you see that you've lost like more than 1% of your total body weight, you need to add some calories in quick, because you're going to end up in like a bad spot. But it's not that the weight is the goal. The weight is a tool, like a barometer of how things are going, and you titrate your calories relative to that. And you know, it's not infallible. You know, you want some good quality scales. You wanna make sure that they do small increments, that you want a flat surface, like a foam surface, and that they're decent. I've had so many sets of scales because most of them tend to be a bit haywire. It's annoying. So, another amazing book not related to veganism, Lucid Dream, The Art of Dreaming, Carlos Castaneda. Sounds cool. Samuel, currently on the free trial of Sam Harris's meditation app, Waking Up. Okay, how's that going? Shaggy, bless all night shift workers. Yep, I used to think that when I was one of them. Angharad, I know what my mum and I will be doing for a bit today. Any guesses? It begins with M. Making snacks. Meditation, is it? Is it meditation? That took me a minute, didn't it? Timmy, have you ever used a white noise machine? Makes me sleep like a baby and blocks out outside noise. No, I tend to use earplugs, but yeah, that would work too. Anyway, that's great, Angharad. Do you guys meditate often? I really rate it. I really rate it. And there's specific ones called Yoga Nidra, YOGA space NIDRA. Oh, Minecraft. Yeah, guys, if you don't know about Yoga Nidra, there's specific ones. There's ones for anxiety. There's ones for if you're in pain. There's ones for relaxation, like restoration of the body. You feel really refreshed when they kind of help you to change your brain waves. And yeah, very good. Yeah, look up Yoga Nidra on YouTube. Samuel, We Sleep by Matthew Walker is the best book I've read on sleep hygiene. I believe I've heard of Matthew Walker. Because I remember thinking like, oh, sleepwalking, and understand the mechanics of sleep. Yeah. I was surprised to hear that changes in body temperature have more of a bearing than changes in light. So first thing in the morning, and I do mean first thing, I have my cold shower. And then towards bedtime, I have a piping hot bath. And then I don't put too many clothes on. And it's basically the change in temperature from freezing cold to warm, which wakes you up, and from hot to cold, which helps you to sleep. Belial in the hizzy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Oscar, I ate a burger the other day and felt great for 3 days straight. Forgive me, vegan Lord Hench. I ate a burger. Yeah, there's loads of vegan burgers, so what's the big deal? Belial, back after a long pause, hope you're doing well. I am, my friend, yeah, I am. It's good to see you back. What have you been up to? Demi, thoughts on dried fruit, figs, sultanas, etc. I eat about 375 grams of them most days. Typically raisins or sultanas, dates, figs fairly often, organic apricots that don't have the sulfur dioxide, so they're not bright orange, they're actually like brown. Yeah, they're my main stuff. Great way to get a lot of calories in for not so much volume. Morpheus, yeah, the Hare Krishnas are open to all people. It's more of a philosophy than a religion. Interesting. You're welcome, James. JB, it's definitely a religion. Yeah, I mean, it is a religion, isn't it? They have several different gods, and I like Lord Ganesh. He's very cool, that elephant guy who gets rid of obstacles. Stacey, you mentioned a book before about how to deal with confrontation communication. Can you remember what it's called, please? The main one I tend to harp on about is called Non-Violent Communication. That's very powerful. In more recent years, Melanie Joyce brought one out specifically for people of different ethical views, you know, relative to animals. So like vegans, vegetarians, non-vegans. And that is called Beyond Beliefs. So that's particularly good if that's the area of contention. Demi, is the aquafaba in canned beans healthy to consume, or is it better to strain the beans? In terms of eliminating or reducing gas, it's good to get rid of it. But yeah, aquafaba, so specifically from chickpeas, it can be a useful ingredient for things like meringues and, well, a few different dishes. Johnny Mayen, Private Mayen, how are you? Good to see you in the on Discord there. Yeah, so you were saying you've just got some free weights to use, but no like bench or machines and things. So if you're trying to work your arms, all you can really do is like a curl for your biceps, and then for your tries, it's, you know, some kind of extensions. What I would say is if you're going to do, say, 2 or 3 different exercises, I would change up the angle of your elbow relative to your body, and that would just help to give like a bit more of a 3D sort of look. Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be sort of fairly limited, really. Not that it's not going to be good. James, yeah, worded wrong. Don't get hung up on scales for sure. Yeah, sure. It's easy to like slightly mess up like how you put things, isn't it? But like, and lose the meaning. I know how you feel. I do like the ones in the gym that show fat, muscle fat hydration percentage. Grammar officer Kripke. How do I pronounce that? Anyway, he's here with his great name. Shaggy, will the omega-6 in sesame and sunflower seeds offset the omega-3 of a tablespoon of flax seeds too much? So you want to be in a 3-to-4 ratio in favour of omega-6 by the end of the day. So the way to know is just to get onto chronometer, add food, so what, you know, sesame seeds or whatever, add that in. Look at your flax and chia you've already got, and then you can go to fats. Omega-3, 3.1 grams. Omega-6, 7.8 grams. So that's actually well under like 3 or 4 to 1. Some people will tell you need more. I wouldn't worry too much as long as you got like at least about half the RDA, because it's not really an RDA, it's an AI, adequate intake, and that's not set on any science. It just is an average of people eating actually an unhealthy diet, standard Western diet, and where omega-6 deficiency doesn't present. So they're just saying, oh, these people don't get it, what they're eating on average, I'll just go for that. Well, the thing is, like, you know, it is pro-inflammatory, so, you know. But you can go up to 3 or 4 to 1 and be safe, though. So do with that what you will. Okay. Oh yeah, we have chatted. Yeah, I thought we had. So she recently, Australia's in lockdown. Yeah, that's right. Not many vegan, plant-based bodybuilders go live on YouTube. No, that's very true. I've been vegan since 18 months. Nice, that's a good amount of time. How's it going? How are you feeling? Kripke. Question. Kripke. Where do I know that name? That's Big Bang Theory, isn't it? Anyway, probably a slightly different name. Question. Love your oven-baked potato wedges and chips. Are you worried about the acrylamide levels in those? It is a concern. You'd be better off probably not having them. However, like apparently the science on acrylamide, as more and more is coming out, the risk is looking like it's getting weaker. Like it may not be a cancer risk, but we don't know. So while we're unsure, better to avoid it. And you will be creating more like free radicals, certainly. So yeah, the healthiest way to cook is, or either to not cook, like to eat some things raw when they can be, or to use these so-called wet heat cooking methods, you know, like steaming and microwaves actually are reputedly like some of the healthier ways to cook like a lot of different bits of produce. There's a lot of bro science years ago about how they changed the configuration of molecules so your body doesn't recognize it as food. But I ate like half my meals out of microwaves and I got up to 21 odd stone. So I think my body was recognizing it as food, or that wouldn't have happened. But yeah, it may be better to avoid them altogether. I basically have a bit of that, and I have a lot of, you know, healthy produce, which hopefully the antioxidants perhaps would offset the free radical damage. So, you know, lowering your risk. I certainly don't eat fried food, which would be even worse. January, good to see you again. Would you had ever expected Maddie to go back to being omnivore? Maddie Limburner, do you mean? I was so shocked. I think herself and Kalal are those who would never guess. Yeah, Kalal did that really emotional video, all upset about animals being killed, didn't she? What are your thoughts? Maddie, I never heard her talking about animals. She just seemed like a fitness influencer, so yeah, I wasn't really particularly shocked. But yeah, Kalal like was sickening, saddening. Saddening's really the word. Timmy, I hope this isn't an inappropriate question, but what's your thoughts on NoFap? I don't think that's inappropriate, particularly when you put it in that more polite way. I'm no expert about all that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't really know, in all honesty. I think if you're in a relationship, probably keeps your relationship like fresher and better. That's one thing I'll say. Because it's that old dopamine thing. If you're, you know, using visual aids, you know, and you kind of get more and more extreme with what it is that you're looking at. And then, you know, when it's just you and your partner, and then maybe that's, you know, not half as sort of, you know, from your new perspective, like exciting, then that's going to sort of mar that, isn't it? A bit like you're eating your whole foods plant-based diet and then you eat a load of burgers, you know, like dirty vegan burgers with vegan cheese, and then you try to eat a piece of kale afterwards and you think, oh, this tastes horrible. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if you're talking to me and Harad, but you're very welcome if you are so doing. Thanos, good to see you again, my little mate. How are you doing? I hope you're feeling better today. Timmy, do your earplugs slip out when you sleep? No, the trick to earplugs is to make them small, push them in, hold them, and you'll hear them expanding. Don't take your fingers away until they stop expanding. You're welcome. Anna, what gets me when you become vegan are the individuals who think they have the right to question you and who also refuse to open up their eyes to the moida and torture of the industry. Yep, you'll get a lot of that. Michael Jackson, Hare Krishnas are not vegan, they are vegetarian. I am confused. Hare Krishnas, I've got Hare Krishna friends. Some of them are vegetarian. 2 of them are vegan. I think it's up to them. I think that no religion mandates the consumption of animal products. So you can be religious and also be kind to animals. Stacey, thank you. I've been getting into the audiobooks at the minute. Started the Joe Dispenza one. Really interesting so far. Yeah, he's such a fascinating guy. Debbie, is coconut water or coconut flesh rich in sat fat or just coconut oil? So coconut water has no sat fat. It does have free sugars, not bound to fibre though. So they would raise your blood triglycerides, your risk for fatty liver disease, and your Alzheimer's disease risk. So I've stopped drinking that on those grounds. Coconut flesh. So coconut oil obviously is pure fat, so that's horrible. And the fat is unbound to fibre, so free fat. So, you're going to absorb more, it could be more rapid and, it's going to wreak havoc. And of course, it's the very long chain triglycerides that do give us heart disease unequivocally. It's the only, sat, fat, trans fats and cholesterol are the only things to raise serum LDL, which is on number one, it's the only, what do you call it? It's the only critical risk factor for heart disease. You can have a really unhealthy life, be doing everything wrong. If your serum LDL is not high enough, you wouldn't get heart disease. You'd probably die of another horrible disease. You'd never get heart disease. So, yeah, so we need to not be eating a lot of sat fat, particularly these long and very long chain triglycerides. Oil is pure fat, and 92% of these horrible ones. And the flesh, the flesh is a lot of fibre, a lot more nutrition in there. But yeah, there's a good amount of saturated fat. So according to the science, it seems in the context of an otherwise just a whole foods plant-based diet without other sort of nasty fats in there, it seems that we can get away with a bit of coconut flesh, be it desiccated or, fresh. And it seems to be okay. It seems that we can get away with it in smaller doses. In high doses, yeah, that'll kill you as well. Personally, I really eat coconut flesh. I mean, I do get given some coconuts on a rare occasion. I eat very little of the flesh, though. I prefer, because I'm relatively low fat, so I prefer the fats I do eat to be more nutritious, like essential fat. So there's your nuts and seeds, really. What time have we got? Nearly 9. I'm going to go till 9:30 today, guys. I'm going to go till 9:30. Samuel, waking up app with Sam Harris is going well. It focuses on the mechanics over end goals. Nice. Other meditation apps prey on our ego and compromise things through studying meditation for curing depression. Interesting. Dragon Fist. Does food affect quality of skin? Yes. I'm not just talking about acne. What is the best way to get a golden face ratio? A golden face ratio? What the hell is that? Are you trying to say like sort of a nice colour to your skin? That would be carotenoids. So yellow, orange, red and green produce. You want to eat well of those things. Vitamin E is very important for skin quality. So sunflower seeds, wheat germ, almonds, red peppers, blackberries, sweet potatoes, butternut squash, apricots, mangoes. These sorts of orangey fleshed fruits and vegetables, for some reason, tend to have a lot of vitamin E. Eric, thoughts on dark chocolate? Dark chocolate. So yeah, if you're having like a bar of chocolate, there's going to be a load of sugar in there, which will give you Alzheimer's disease, raise triglycerides, the potential for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Cocoa butter, works like animal fats, like coconut oil, palm kernel oil. It's got those long and very long chain triglycerides, so that will raise your heart disease risk, which is the #1 cause of death in humans, including vegans who don't eat a healthy enough diet. I mean, there is some good stuff in there. There's a lot of minerals, antioxidants, polyphenols. But the point is, if you ingest cocoa powder or cacao powder rather than like the whole bean, which is used in chocolate, then you don't get the horrible fats. So you get the benefit without the risk. So it's the one processed food actually that is healthier than the whole food. So there you go. I hope that answers that. John, do you include garlic in your diet on a regular basis? Most days, either powder, granules, or often fresh. I like rubbing like fresh garlic cloves on my toast and then putting whatever topping. Does make your breath stink though, and it sort of comes out in my sweat as well. It's not very nice. Angel in the hizzy, Dirk Diggler, good to see you again. Michael Jackson. Golden face ratio 4:3. What does that mean? I don't know what you're on about. Need more input. Jamie Isbit. Are you talking about like ratios, like dimensions? I mean, I don't know how nutrition would change the shape of your face. Jamie Isbit. Well, early one morning, indeed. Morning to you. Thanks for joining. How's it going? Golden fist. If you go onto Google Images, you'll see what the golden face ratio is. Oh, so like the golden ratio, like which we see in nature. Right, I'm with you now. Yeah, the reason I was confused is because food's going to have absolutely no bearing on that whatsoever. I don't know how it ever could. Mathematical equation of attractiveness. Yes, the old Fibonacci spiral malarkey, isn't it? Shaggy, do creatine increases DHT and leads to potential hair loss? If you have a lot of dihydrotestosterone receptors in your hair follicles, yeah, creatine can lead to hair loss because it turns more of your testosterone into DHT, basically. Jamie is good. Eric, thank you. I know it's not the healthiest, but I'm addicted. Good thing the bars have hazelnuts in them. Jamie, why is my wife's portrait in the background? Well, that's a very cute wife, that's all I can say. What time have we got? It's half an hour until my hill sprint, so I'm going to have my pre-workout matcha. This is actually green. You can't see because obviously I'm in front of a green screen. Looks like dirty ditch water. Tastes quite similar too. Zell. Terrible. Well, how are we all doing, guys? What is everyone up to today? I'm interested. Tell me what you're doing on. And in the meantime, I'm going to get a few more fluids into me. How much water do you guys drink in a day on average? Do you take good care about your fluid intake? How much do you aim for? And how often do you get it? That's what I want to know. I forgot Ankarad is a matcha fan. I despite what I just said, I quite like it. It's quite a bitter taste, isn't it? I think I just like it because I know how good it makes me feel. John's going for a run in the woods shortly. Nice. I love going into our local woods. We do it most evenings. We just go for a walk around there. It's nice to connect with nature, isn't it? And funnily enough, you can do it without killing animals, hunters. So there's always that. So, gaming work tomorrow. Gaming work. Do you game for a living? Is that a thing? Is that what you're doing? Nothing special, healthy, moral, cheap life. Well, that's always best. Zell has too much coffee, not enough water for sure. Yeah, I just feel so like low energy if I don't make sure I'm hydrated. The Eco Driver. I like your green helmet avatar. Hi Hench, big fan. First Hangout. Thanks for joining and thank you for your kind words. Keep up the good work, brother. I will do. You have helped a long vegan transition. Thank you. Back to coconuts. What's your thoughts on organic coconut sugar? Horrible. Horrible. Any free sugars not attached to fibre will probably cause some kind of, disease or, negative reaction in the body. We're just not designed to cope with sugars unattached to fibre. Even like fruit juice. If you look at the Sherzai's new book, Dean and Aisha Sherzai, the husband and wife neurobiologist team, they've really been deep diving into the latest science, and they say that free sugars are the number one dietary cause of Alzheimer's disease. And if you look at the sugars, okay, coconut sugar has got a lower glycemic index than other sugars, but really it's a bit like saying, would you rather be hanged, shot or stabbed? No, I would rather like none of those. Which is a shame because it is well tasty and a great way to get calories in. Jamie, just about to go to the Stand in the Park Freedom Group meetup. Someone was talking about that yesterday. Very good. Dirk Diggler, 3 to 4 litres at least in the morning. Bloody hell, that sounds like hard going. And throughout the day, it hydrates the organs. That's for damn sure. Dragon Fist, I think you were saying, how do you get a 1-to-1 face ratio? Get your head sideways in a vise and then just crank it up is the only way I can really think. Anchor had made some tempeh bacon for breakfast. Delicious. Where's mine? Where's mine? That's what I want to know. How dare you? Angel, just woke up and my eyes are barely staying open. Get in a freezing cold shower. And then try to get outside for a bit and get the sunlight in your eyes. That's my 2 bits of advice. I drink quite a lot of water. I feel stressed if I don't drink lots. Yeah, very good. Why did I miss that? And now I've gone... I always jump around in this. I'm sorry, guys, if I ever miss your comment or question. For some reason, this chat seems to jump around. Samuel, Sunday is cleaning day, so I'll probably be scrubbing the floors. Brilliant. Demi, is it okay to sip on a smoothie throughout the day? No, that is a horrible idea, I'm afraid to say. I'm about to have a few hours break. Yeah, you do need a few hours break between meals. Preferably at least 3 hours, 45 minutes. And preferably you only have like maybe 3 meals. So you spend at least 12 hours with no meals. This is best for your gut health, your gut microbiome health, and lowers the risk of you developing SIBO, which I did develop about 3 years ago. And I'm pretty confident it's because I cram so much food in me and so regularly. Eric, beach volleyball from 10 a.m. to midnight. What? Is that even possible? I must be drinking like 10 litres. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Grammar Officer Krupke, would you take on Sverige in a charity boxing match? No, I really hope never to lay my hands on someone again, ever, not even for charity. I answered that one. Belial goes for 5 litres a day. Nice. Piece of Reese, why do you have a pic of me in the background? You cheeky little monkey. Guys, are you aware of Peace with Reese's channel? He's a lovely lad with a great YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to him, or this monkey will pluck your eyes out and eat them. Mike Van Bike, what do you think of sunflower oil added to foods like oat milk? Horrible! Stick to whole foods. You know, it's certainly not as healthy as what it displays. Very few people with much in the way of oil in their diets that are like a healthy, or like at least the body shape that they'd like to be. So calorically dense. There are negatives to oil. Some are worse than others, but at the very least, they're not as healthful as what they displace, which is whole foods with fiber attached, with exponentially more nutrition. Like most nutrients are water soluble, so when they make oils, the vast majority of the nutrients run down the drain. Like, why would you do that to yourself? Dragon Fist. I meant a mid-face ratio of 1 to... Why are you asking me? Do I look like some kind of a face expert? I'm as ugly as sin. I'm more of a nutrition slash nutrition expert. Basically, I'm clueless about everything else. Ashab. Well, that's a weird comment. Ashab, you seem like a bit of a twit, so you can go and play with the other twits anywhere else but here, preferably in heavy traffic. Samuel, I realised you are anti-oil, but are there good ways to replace the fat with whole food in recipes? I cook mainly Indian food, and fat contributes to the taste of a lot of meals. Yeah, so I would use nuts, seeds, avocados. I'm not sure that will always work in every instance, but that would be the only way of doing it healthily. So, for instance, if I make hummus, I'll put like a bit more tahini in there to replace the olive oil. Oops, all gone. Don't blame you, Angharad. Badial, I noticed in drinks nowadays often glucose as a sweetener instead of refined sugar. Is it better? Glucose is refined sugar. Jamie, what vitamins and minerals would you recommend for hypertension? I wouldn't recommend any vitamins and minerals. I would recommend eating a whole foods, plant-based diet, slanted towards higher carb and lower fat. And let the vitamins and minerals look after themselves. Hypertension really is, cut your salt down, exercise a bit, don't eat animal fats. That's really the key to that one. You can add in things like hibiscus tea, oats and mushrooms for the beta glucans, amla powder, green tea. But really, just don't eat animals. Certainly don't have coconut oil, palm oil, palm kernel oil, cocoa butter. Whole plant foods are best. Jack the Gamer in the hizzy. Dirk Diggler, chimps are well nasty. All the ones I've met have been delightful people. I can only speak as I find. But no, they do eat other chimps' babies to send a message sometimes. Jack. Oh no, sorry. Angel, what does spheria, not spherage, spheria mean? It means Swedish, which is bonkers because I think he's Lithuanian. It basically shows you how completely mental he really is. Jack, what do you think? Do you think people who eat legumes should go vegan? I think everyone should go vegan, regardless of whether they eat legumes or not. I don't get the relevance of the question. What foods would you recommend? Oh, sorry, I'd misread your question. I should have known it was me being a twit and not you. Do you think people who can't eat legumes should go vegan? Yes. There are tens of thousands of other things they can eat. What foods would you recommend to get a balanced diet practically? All the other ones, so not legumes, whole grains, probably go a bit heavier on the whole grains, nuts and seeds, fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices. You'd still get all your nutrients. It means brain damaged in Estonian. I like that. Grammar Officer Kripke. Bell end alert. Angerad, you're not allowed to say that. That's naughty. That's really made me laugh, that is. Thank you, Zell. Thank you, Zell. Demi, I'm still laughing, the Angerad school. I got it belling. What's an optimal breakfast to start the day for an active person? Yeah, again, it's the same thing for everyone. Whole foods, plant-based, eat the range of different foods. So for me, I tend to have a smoothie or porridge. And what I'll put in there is oats, for long burning fuel. Some sort of dried fruit to give sweetness and quick fuel. So like dates, raisins, something like that. You can put a legume in there, like white beans. You wouldn't taste it. You wouldn't even know it's in there. Mash it up in the porridge. Being a bodybuilder, I typically add some protein powder, which is made from legumes. Berries for some antioxidants. Ground flax and chia seeds. So you've got your omega-3s. Maybe a little other nuts and seeds if you want to. I tend to go high omega-3 at breakfast, so I know I've done it. And then my other two meals tend to be higher in omega-6. And that's the basically try to eat all the different whole plant foods in whatever meal that is. Higher carb, lower fat. Job's good in. Dragon Fist. Good on ya. Yeah, it doesn't digest, John. Grammar, if you had to choose one type of protein powder for the rest of your life, which one would you choose? Vivo Life Perform. It's the main one I use every day. I use some Vivo Life Ritual as well, which is great, very efficacious, but the Perform has some added extras which even boost your workout above what just a protein powder does. But both of them are very good quality, very efficacious. If I had to pick one flavour, I'd probably go with the salted maca caramel. If anyone wants to try Vivo Life, they do like all the essential nutrients as well. Like B12, D3, DHA. They do a multi in case you need a multi if you can't eat enough volume of healthy, like whole plant foods. And they do like matcha and maca. They do loads of great things, sports performance and health supplements. So link below, 10% off with code HENCH10. I'm basically a brand ambassador with those guys because they're so efficacious. They're so sustainability minded, that, care about the planet. They care about like fair wages for all the workers involved, all of the way along the supply chain. And they test for over 500 different contaminants. They don't test. They pay a third-party company to test, so they're not going to be biased. They're not going to be BSing you. And they're one of the few companies not to be found to have dangerous levels of contaminants in their protein powders. I think only there was a report came out a few years ago, Clean Label Report it was called. Clean Label Report. Out of like dozens and dozens of protein powders tested, only 3 were found not to have dangerous levels of like toxins like heavy metals, and including the plant-based protein. So you'd think, toxins biomagnify up the food chain. So if it's animal-based, it's going to have far more than vegan powders. But actually, very few vegan protein powders pass the test either. So I think the cheaper you go with things like protein powders, you're just paying for cheaper ingredients, which are going to come from a third world country, and perhaps they have horrible levels of pollution, and it's soaking up into the soybeans or the rice or whatever type of protein powder it is. Jack, are fats in tahini and peanut butter as bad as olive oil? So olive oil is bad as far as it's unattached to like fiber, so it acts differently in the body. So that's going to be the poorest choice. Now, better than eating tahini would be to eat whole sesame seeds. Better than eating peanut butter would be to eat whole peanuts. But it's not so bad. Yeah, a little bit of it's not so bad, really. I wouldn't go overboard on it. The fact is, because it's sort of ultra ground, the particles are so tiny. You actually get 20% more calories when you eat nut and seed butters relative to the whole nuts and seeds. So bear that in mind if you're trying to lose weight and if you're trying to gain weight. So I can actually get away with a bit more, and that's actually helping me towards my goal. But get whole nut and seed butters. Don't go for ones with additives, you know, with different sugars, like might say maltodextrin, dextrose. It's all sugar. Palm oil particularly, like any added oils, you know, it's not going to be half as healthful, basically. Shaggy, I'm going to sip on my green tea every time you mention Bellend. Bellend. I hope you did 4 sips there. Link and bonus. I don't know what you're saying, Zell, but I like it. Demi, is it better to eat more in the morning, during lunch, or at night? Sorry for all the questions. I'm learning heaps from your live streams. Well, thank you. And actually, thanks for all the questions, because if people don't ask questions, I'll just be sitting there looking like an idiot with nothing to say. So, you know, the whole point of this is that is a Q&A, and please ask away, because that helps me get through these live streams without feeling too awkward. Yeah, so better to eat more in the morning, less at lunch, very little at night. So breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper. That's been an adage that's been around for years. There was no science, though, to back it up. But more recently, there's been great inroads into a branch of science known as chronobiology. And we actually now know that cells in our bodies all have like internal clocks. So this is one reason why sleep is important, and particularly sleeping in line with the circadian rhythm of the planet. So up when the sun comes up, bed roughly when the sun goes down. I mean, it's going to change throughout the year depending on where you are in the world. I guess we developed that mechanism when we lived close to the equator. So if we're living far, then that's going to be a little bit messed up. But anyway, 500 calories eating in the morning will have less of an effect on your body and the potential for weight gain than if you ate those like late at night. So yeah, more calories earlier in the day, taper them off. Preferably don't eat within like a few hours of bedtime. Ideally, you really want to be fasting for at least 12 hours. More is probably better. It just gives the gut microbiome a rest. Our bacteria need to rest as well. Just helps us to sleep, that we're not digesting food. And one other thing that I was about to say that I just forgot. Let me meditate on it for a moment. No, I think that's gone. I'm not going to trouble myself. But yeah, much better to eat more calories early on. Grammar officer. Okay, great advice for the UK. But I mean, type of protein like matcha rice. Matcha is a type of tea, not protein. So you mean... Right. Hang on, let me just get back to your question. So you didn't mean brand. You meant specifically... what it's made from. I'm with you. Probably doesn't matter all that much, in all honesty. Maybe like a soy or a pea, preferably fermented. Hemp's good as well, though. Brown rice protein would be good, or rice protein. Sorry. It probably doesn't matter all that much. Maybe a legume based one, maybe, or hemp will be pretty good as well. Yeah, it probably won't make much of a difference, really, and particularly if you're eating a good range of other whole plant foods. Dragonfist got a great question. Are there any processed foods that are healthier than their whole food counterparts? As far as I know, the only one that springs to mind is cocoa powder, because they take out those nasty saturates that lead to heart disease. As Peace with Reese very rightly pointed out. Good looking and intelligent. Reese, get out of here. He's a double threat guy. Dragon Fist. No, I've answered that. Come on. It's because I don't eat no meat. Don't you start with the bellends, Eliza. Shaggy. I'm in Singapore and get the My Protein soy protein isolate. Yeah, soy protein will be a good one. Shaggy. Tomato paste better than tomato fruit. In terms of lycopene availability, yes. In terms of all over nutrition, I would imagine probably the whole tomato. But I don't have any signs to back it up, and I'm inferring, and that could well be wrong. Like when we cook things, oftentimes. Oh no, but it's not cooked, is it? I don't know. I don't know is the answer. Cowboy. Hi, are you okay? He winked at me. Right, 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes. Get your comments or questions in. Oh, that's another sip of green tea. Bellend. Can you say the word bellend, please? Bellend. Every time you say it, I can't remember who it is, but someone's sipping their green tea every time they heard that phrase. Oh, it was Shaggy. Oh, Gemma, come here a second. I pointed out where Anchor had said bellend. Don't you be calling me a bellend at the camp out, because we'll fall out. Zell. Can you talk a bit about amino acids in general, essential versus the whole group? Are there issues about non-essential amino acids? So amino acids, of course, are the building blocks of protein. So you can think of them as like Lego bricks, and you get the Lego bricks and you make the protein, out of the Lego bricks kind of thing, if that makes sense. Essential ones we cannot manufacture, so we need to eat. Non-essential ones we can make out of other ones. We basically pull them into the liver, I think, and just create them into other ones that we need. So it's not essential that we eat a lot of them. I think it's about 9 that we must eat, basically. So there's no issue about non-essential amino acids, no. Good use of the cowboy emoji, Angry. That's a particularly handsome emoji, isn't it? I don't think I've really sat and appreciated it before. Ricky, how much B12 should I supplement? I'm 21 and I take 2,500 micrograms on Mondays. Well, you seem to be doing it exactly right. I would avoid taking dose anywhere near that dose is the only thing I'll say, because there is some science to suggest there's B12 analogues that may bind with the receptor sites, and then despite the fact that you've got adequate B12 in the bloodstream, it may not be able to dock with receptors. So I basically take my B12 on a Saturday. I basically take no seaweed that day just to be sure, just in case, like, I don't know, because dulse is a bit of a question mark. I think, well, have we tested other seaweeds as well? And maybe I'm over worrying. Legend of pork chop. That doesn't sound very vegan. I'm watching you. If you were to eat pasta, what type of pasta would you recommend? Whole grain wheat. Unless you've got celiac disease. Didn't someone say something about white pasta a minute ago? Did I miss it? Oh, I keep missing things. Oh yeah, Legend of Pork Chop. How bad is white pasta for weight loss? How much are you eating and how much of a caloric surplus are you in? And I wouldn't eat white pasta because it's nutritionally bereft and will probably do horrible things in your body. Jack the Vegan Gamer, thoughts on neutering cats? Yeah, I don't really know. Of course, you know, we've had several cats throughout our lives. We didn't get one since we've been vegan. And so now, you know, I'm not so sure about things. It's a bit difficult, isn't it? I'm sort of not even too sure about the concept of pets in general. I think if we're rescuing animals and trying to make their lives better, then that sits a lot better, of course. I'm kind of conscious, like for her safety, we keep her locked indoors all day, like Cowboy. And then I think, well, that's kind of like she's in prison, really. Like, does she want to be locked away with two humans, like as her only friend? Like, did we get her for her benefit or for ours? And is that like exploitative? So I'm not sure about it. I don't feel that bad about it. It's not like I lose sleep, but I'm questioning things. I think going forwards, I wouldn't want to get a carnivore as a pet. And I would want to make sure that my home, you know, I would try to get like vegan animals that needed help, that needed a home. And I would try to make sure, I would like it if I had lots of land so they could be sort of more free and live a more natural life, and that they had friends and, you know, had like more of their needs met. Yeah, I just find it all a bit strange now. You just start to question things. So, yeah, it's a fun. So neutering cats, I mean, that you're basically mutilating them, aren't you? You're mutilating them. Then they can't have like a normal, natural life. So, but of course, like you don't want an epidemic of cats marauding over the landscape and eating all the wildlife. So we've kind of created like a situation which we then need to manage. We need to manage it by chopping cats' privates off or about, and like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it is the answer, Jack. I'm starting to feel less and less comfortable. What do you guys think? It's a funny one, isn't it? Piece of reach, you can only get B52 from Rock Lobsters. Demi, what makes fish unhealthy? I'm vegan, but my family regularly consumes fish. So the fact that they live in the sewers of mankind, and that all our shiz, all our like toxins and poisons and byproducts, like from farming, from, you know, agriculture, industrial pollutants, dioxins, PCBs, heavy metals, everything you ever flush down the loo, that all ends up in the sea where the fish are swimming and like basically breathing that all in. And now, yeah, things bioaccumulate up the food chain. Not bioaccumulate, sorry, that's the wrong word, and it's not nearly a powerful enough word. They biomagnify up the food chain. They, you know, the damage increase exponentially as you go from plant life has obviously the least toxins, but then tiny fish eat plants their whole lives. Bigger fish eat tiny fish their whole lives. Medium fish eat these slightly smaller fish. And then so you get to something like a tuna. Just imagine the amount of toxins that's built up in a large fish that we eat. Now, where do toxins accumulate? In the animal fat, aka fish oil. So if people are taking fish oil supplements, megadosing it, it's not a very good idea, is it? Not a very good idea. Also, now with the microplastics, so the hormone endocrine disrupting microplastics, xenoestrogens, these actually end up in the fish's muscle. So people eating fish are eating like loads of plastic now, and it can mess around with your hormone profiles. So, you know, you're not going to be in such good shape. Men have the propensity to start growing breast tissue. And there's no fiber in fish. There's only like animal protein, animal fats. These feed pathogenic gut bacteria. The good gut bacteria, they eat soluble fiber, resistant starch and polyphenols, of which there is none in fish. So you're feeding bad gut bacteria that cause disease. You're starving the good bacteria that produce vitamins, train the immune system, create short-chain fatty acids that we have really found out in the last, 14 years now, They're the bedrock of our health potential, you know. So, yeah, it's a ridiculous idea to eat fish. Probably, I think the trouble is that fish likely isn't so harmful as things like red meat or certainly processed meat. But healthier doesn't mean healthy. We need to be sticking to whole plant foods if we want to optimize our health. Samuel requests for more cat in streams. Cowboy is so cute. I'll try my best. She doesn't often play ball. Cowboy! Cowboy! No, she's not interested. Have you got any snacks? She will do things for a Scooby snack. Oh, blinking heck. I'm doing overtime. I should really go and do my hill sprints now. Legend of Pork Chalk. I promise I'm vegan. Adopt, don't shop. Yeah. Yep. Nice. I like your open mind piece of Reese. I think that's important. Right, I better go and do some life. I need to do my hill. What am I doing? Yoga, hill sprints, spot a lunch. I think I'm going to try and make a video today. I'll try and make a video if I can think of one. I may be on tonight though, about 6 p.m. tonight. So set a reminder on your phone. Follow me on Instagram, hench_herbivore, because I always... Shaggy, did someone say Scooby Snack? I always announce on Instagram when I'm coming on YouTube. If I get into a video and I don't get it done in time, perhaps I won't stream. But I am on at 7:30 on Mooncat's channel. We're doing like a cross-platform. I think there's about 6 of us discussing veganism and crime. Are vegans less likely to commit crimes? Angel Cooper, what are you doing? That's a ridiculous amount of money. 20 squids on the super chats. Angel, I love you. You're just a wonderful person. Bless your heart. Right, let's get into this before we go. I rescued a bearded dragon, which I tell myself he's already in this country. Yeah, which is unnatural. So I don't put myself down about doing it. The stuff he needs to eat while he's young. But he's 5 foot long vivarium and is stuffed. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? And yeah, well, you've already got these creatures under your care. Like, we didn't know we were going to be vegan, and yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so he's going to have to be eating animals, isn't he? Some animals need to eat live animals as well, don't they? So yeah, I don't know what I'd bloody do. I really don't. My yeah, that's hard. Bless your heart. Thank you so much for that donation. That's ridiculously generous. You lovely lady. Really appreciate you. Thanks to people like you, I'm able to do this. So, and this, like I always say, is my life's purpose. So, you'll never know how truly grateful I am. I can't begin to really tell you. Thank you so much. Right, I better go and do some things. Thanks for the super chat, keeping the bloody cameras rolling like that and the beans on my toast. Thanks to moderators for keeping us troll free. If you want to optimize your nutrition and your life, download my free vegan nutrition guide, How to Eat Plant-Based Successfully. Link below. One person had a trouble yesterday on Yahoo. I think he was on Yahoo trying to do it. And it didn't download, but then he went on Firefox and it did work. So if it don't work for you, just go on another browser. Yeah, and then if you like that, I mean, that's a complete overview, basically. It's everything you really kind of need to know to do it. But if you really want to deep dive, you know, and just understand the whole deal, basically become your own nutritionist, really, is what this course does for you. We've got our Ultimate Guide to Plant-Based Nutrition course, which is 14 videos of cookbooks, a massive PDF, which you can download, print out, just anything and everything you could hope to ever need in order to thrive as a vegan and show those meat eaters what's what. So please give that a look if you want to. And yeah, I hope to see you tonight, either at 6 p.m. if I should probably come on here. But as I say, if I get into a video, which I'm filming and I've not quite done it yet, I might want to get it out because I've not got a video out for a couple of days. So I may finish that off, but I'll definitely be on Mooncat's channel at 7:30, the vegan Mooncat. So you might want to go over there now, set a reminder on he's set the stream to schedule for that time. Anyway, Angel, I learned so much from your videos, lives, and helps me educate other people. Good. I'm glad to be of service, and thank you for supporting me in what I'm doing. You are an angel. You're an angel, Alice. All right, guys. Bye for now. Hope to see you later. Have a fantastic day. Cheers, guys.